So greetings to you and welcome. Welcome to Uncensored Guyana. I'm Dr. Prasad. It is Friday, the 21st day of November. And as you certainly know, on Friday is the day of our sacred deity, Mother Durga, of whom I am a devotee. So I thought let me start today with a simple mantra of my beloved goddess. To start my feed today. So for all those persons who have tuned in, welcome. And my mantra, just one line, is Om Dum Durgayama Maha. And that simply means I bow to Goddess Durga, the protective and powerful mother who removes all difficulties. That's what it means. Om Dum Durga Yana Maha. You see, folks, who feels it knows it. And while at some point, or at sometimes I often would make certain remarks and talk about issues the best way I can, I do have a soft spot for humanity, for human beings. I have a soft spot for human beings. And the reason why it comes over that I'm being very harsh or hard on Afro people or Africans or Black people. The sentiments I cannot explain or justify or try to break it down to the level of some of you so that you understand where I'm coming from. But I'll tell you this. Before a Black woman conceives with a child, it is every female's biological programming to have that maternal instinct kicks in after she reaches a certain age. You find a lot of girls from the time they can walk and talk, they want to play with a doll, it's a thing with, that's how the Creator designed females, for procreation, to continue humanity. That's understood. The world is not what it used to be. Societies are not just built on farms where you produce children and the man goes and plows the field and that's enough to sustain your family and you're not affected by society or cities or commerce or materialism. No, society is unfortunately where it is now. So when you pursue these natural instincts, as in being a mother and things like that, as a man, I try to tell women, Black women, Before you consider making a baby, look back at your life in the household that you were raised and try to take out from that experience something that can guarantee you that you would not bring a child in that similar situation. Because if you don't do that, you end up bringing a child in a house with mommy and daddy and other siblings, in a house with your aunt and her children. Now you are bringing an innocent human into the world that you cannot guarantee a meal a day, because your life has not been consistent with being able to say you have had the luxury of 3 meals a day. But if you take it for granted just because you have this maternal side of you and you fantasize because you see your girlfriends or you see your family with babies and you lust that, or you're jealous and you say, I could be a better mother, I could have a kid too, I could this, all of that is natural. Those kinds of stuff is natural. The reality is, after you make the baby, do you have the capacity as a woman? Because be it a teenager, if you are considered a teenager, as long as you conceive, you're no longer a teenager. There's no such thing as a teenage mother. Women make babies, not teenagers. So as long as you conceive and you push out from your vagina a baby, you're no longer a teenager. You are a woman, a mother. Can you, after that point, give that child what you didn't have? Most of the time, the answer is no. Then why take the chance and hope for a miracle? Why take the chance and hope for a miracle? And not just take the chance. They do it once, and then twice, and then 3 times, and before you know it, by the time they are 20 years old, they have 5 children. And what happens as a result of that? Your household is burdened. Your parents' resources are stretched and drained. Your fathers and mothers are exhausted. Your grandparents are burdened, simply because you want to have sex, and that was not all. You want babies. I'm just talking to black people here. And that kind of pattern continues. And the society is extended in that direction. So when these children are born and they're fixed in a household where the mother can't even find a meal a day for herself, where she has to now become something else, and understood the reality of what it takes to provide for a kid, she now has to deny her virtues, and most of the times becomes a prostitute on the excuse, I have to do what I have to do to feed my babies. But the question was asked before the babies came. Can you? One might be a mistake. Now, the child is a mistake, But the fact that you're dumb enough to get pregnant and you don't have the capacity, you don't have the capacity to even fill your breasts with milk for the baby, much more buy diapers. That would be the mistake. Then you go make 2, and then 3, and by the time the 4th one comes, you're standing on a street corner, your body is filled with tattoos, you have piercing all over your face, you're smoking, you're drinking, and that's the teenager less than 5 years ago was asked the question, do you have the capacity to provide for a baby? 5 years after, that's her capacity, being a prostitute. So when you find black females are so irresponsible with their bodies, hey, people will have sex. People will have sex. I encourage people to have sex. Have sex. But as a man, I have nothing to say to men. Absolutely nothing. Because I've said this on many occasions, and I continue to say this. Unless you have a penis, you will have no idea what it feels like to have to wear a condom to have sex. Unless you have a penis. So to tell men, oh, they should pull out, they should use a condom, I wouldn't do that. Sex is about pleasure, not convenience. When a man goes after sex, he goes after it because of the pleasures of sex. That's why they spend money, they invest money, they do all kinds of stuff to get access to the woman's vagina because of the pleasures of the vagina with a penis inside without a condom. I will not tell men to wear condoms. You women, that's your body. You decide what you do with it. So if you allow yourself to get pregnant without the man's consent and his approval and his total agreement that he is also interested in procreation. He hasn't come for the sex. He came because in the process of the sex, he hopes to have family. Unless that is explicitly said by the man, agreed upon, unless that happens, you, the woman, must take full responsibility for the act of sex that's happening on your body. So if you know that he came in your pussy, that's not his problem. That's the whole point of having sex, to come in the vagina. You don't come out the vagina. That's not sex. That's you penetrating her just for her to orgasm with your penis inside of her, and then you pull it out and you masturbate yourself. That in sex. That is you being used as the man for her pleasure. And your pleasure doesn't count. The man's pleasure is when he comes without a condom in the vagina. That's his pleasure. There's no other pleasure a man can have. So it's on you, the woman, to take responsibility for what happens after that. If he comes in your vagina, you have to carry that burden. And if you sit around without taking steps from the first day after sex, and you wait, and then at the end of the month, your period misses one day, and you still sit around and wait, maybe it will come, maybe it will come. How is that his fault? It's your responsibility. You have to call the shots when it comes to your vagina. You have to call the shots. If you say, well, you have to use a condom, and he says, I'm not interested, and then you say, okay, well, don't come inside of me, and he comes inside of you, how is it his fault? Some of you are like, yeah, but I told you don't come inside of me. Be practical here. Be practical here. A man is going to invest his money on you, pay the hotel, buy you lunch, buy you gifts. All of that he will do. And then he's going to perform during sex. You orgasm 2 or 3 times with his penis inside of you. You feel that absolute awesome friction. And you can explode with his penis in you. But when he is about to have his climax, he needs to pull out of that warm place and use his rough hands to finish himself. So the next time, when you're busy having sex, and you as the woman are about to climax, you're at the plateau stage. Well, climax, yes, you're building up. Plateau, here. Just a little bit more and you are there. When you reach the plateau stage, stop him. Tell him to stop. And say, honey, can you pull your penis out of the vagina because I want to come? Do that. Then you can demand that he does it when he is about to come. You do it first. Let him pull out, and you can masturbate yourself to come. So when he's about to come, then he can pull out and jerk himself off to come. Do that. But unless you can do that, don't instruct men not to come inside of you. It is selfish, it is stupid, and it breaks relationships. So after he has climaxed in you, the rest is up to you. You ignore it, you get pregnant, it's not his problem. It's not the state's problem. It's not President Ali's problem. It is not the Ministry of Social Services problem. It is not the Finance Ministry's problem. It is not your parents' problem. It is your problem. So black women, I am not going to lecture men or black men who have multiple kids all over the place. I wouldn't do that. To all of you who sent emails and sent this and said that and ask me to include these social issues in my show, this is my response to your messages, your emails. This is my response. You take responsibility for your vagina. Okay? You made one kid. You realize that the man didn't want it. He wasn't interested. He never gave you permission to do it. He never supported the idea. Then don't make another one. Okay? Get a job. No, literally get a job. I ain't saying going to study. No. Get a job. Build a foundation. Financial stability. Economic assurance. Build that. When you have that, then you can go study. Take some night classes, whatever. You can improve your capacity on your. After all of that, then you can decide to make a kid or two, because you have the capacity, financial, economic, social, to provide for your kids, not the government or a man. You want kids, you should invest in your kids. Where he wants, he'll make it clear. This is where sometimes people say what they say because they think they know me. They listen to my shows for entertainment, or they listen to my shows to give themselves more reasons to hate me and to label me as whatever. But if they listen carefully from the beginning to the end and understand everything I say when I say it and those kinds of stuff, they will understand that I'm consistent. I am consistent. All right? I'm not saying stuff because I want to hold a certain traffic or a certain audience. No, I piss everybody off. Everybody. Because I don't want a special group to follow me. I want all Guyana, everybody, to follow me. So I'm not going to talk in favor of a certain group, and when that group does shitty things, I ignore it because I don't want to lose their following or their support. No, I think I made it clear. I would bless when you need to be blessed, and I would fuck you up when you need to be fucked up. Why do I hate you? I don't know you personally. I don't hate you, but I hate your mindset. Your actions is what I hate. So the African curse in Guyana is the actions of the people, their mindset. And where does that come from? Who do you look to? I mean, the president said in his release the day before, regarding the EU, listen to the messenger. The people from the EU, the European Union, the question is, where did they get their information from? Who are they interviewing? What demographic? If you interview people that are anti-PPP, what do you think they'll say? If you spend your time on opposition platform to get information about Guyana, what you think your opinions would be formed as? I don't want to be like that. There are lots of people from international communities who watch me. I'm monitored by the FBI. People from all over the world tune in to me on social media. It has always been the case. But I don't paint pictures about Guyana and Guyanese people just because I hate a certain group of people. No, I hate the black people's actions. But I will die for them if I have to. But the actions is what I hate. You understand? Their lack of patriocy, their lack their lack of citizenry. That's what I hate. They cannot unite around the flag. They can't do that. And because of that, it is poisoning their own household. The conversations that the blacks are having in their households in Guyana is causing their children to have their dreams killed. They're demotivating the young ones in their midst to make them think that, hey, the PPP is so prejudiced and so biased and so racist that you can never make it here, that you have to be a bully, you have to be a robber, you have to be a this, you have to be a that, because the Indians are dominating, they're taking over and all these kinds of stuff. This is what they're discussing in the households of the black people. And the young people are coming out from the houses with that mentality. This is why they are so toxic. And they lack productivity because they're household, and those who are leading them in their these empty-headed, numbskull, pea-brain, wealth like Burke and Melissa Atwell and Ben Schkarp and all these other people that has no substance, zero substance. And they're fanning the flames of the already sickening, emotionally depressed black community in Guyana. So when I talk about that, I'm talking about it out of love for Guyanese, for my people. It is dangerous for us to continue that rhetoric. It is dangerous. Now look at what they have done. Look at what they have done. If President Irfan Ali and his government really had anything against the Mohammeds, they have all the tools they need as a state. They have all the evidence. If they don't have, they can fabricate it. We know governments does those kinds of things. You can never be too powerful for the state. If the state wants to take you down, the state will take you down. If it was in that respect, do you think, average Guyanese, do you think the Mohammeds would even have a chance to say he can register a political party? Let's engage our mental faculties here. That would not have been possible if he was a threat. But the government, President Ali and Jagdi and all this, the government is seriously concerned about the effects of the crime on the economy of Guyana, the country Guyana. They were concerned about it. They also did not see the possibility of that man replacing the PNC. They didn't see that coming. You think if anybody had seen that, even the PNC themselves, don't you think they would have banded around the PPP? The PNC would have pressured President Ali to do something before elections to get rid of the Mohammeds, because they saw the threat. They saw the potential of being replaced by the man. But they didn't see that because they didn't think it's possible. They didn't think people would take the man serious. Nobody thought people would take Azruddin serious. But remember what I said in my opening remarks. The question I asked the black women: before you make a baby, do you have the capacity to take care of the baby after? Sex is sweet. It's the after effect of the sex. The question was asked, and now the blacks who delivered that betrayal to the PNC, now they realized, oh, the fun is over. The climax, the man came in the vagina. The pregnancy, oh, the baby is born. The baby is born. What's the baby? The Win Party, PNC, the new kid in town, the new opposition leader. That's the baby. Were they prepared for that? No, they weren't. No, they weren't. So as a result of that, President Ali, the family, the Ali Jagdeo cabinet, now has to take on the burden of dealing with the mistake the black people brought on the country, which is the Win Party. Not only that, now we all see that in Azruddin's mind and his father's mind, this is personal. They have no interest in politics whatsoever. The father's involvement, it was for the interest of his businesses, so he can spy on land and properties and deals that will benefit his businesses. That was the old plan of the father. He got into politics or consular stuff because he wanted to spy on the system to know if they're coming after his businesses. Because when you're a consular, you have access to certain information. And the fact that all the things that has happened, the fact that they were told about the investigation, the fact that governments knew, prior and current, about the investigation, the father plotted by himself and used his son to execute personal vendettas against the PPP, simply because for them, to them, Bara Jagdeo should have been instrumental in making sure that nothing surfaces regarding any corruption. President Ali should have been instrumental in making sure that no foreign government or nothing comes out or nobody comes after them. They are angry at the PPP because they believe that the government, President Ali and Jagdeo, didn't protect them against the Americans. So the plans that they're executing, the things that they're doing, it is malicious. It is a malicious vendetta. They're avenging what has happened to them while they were responsible and are responsible. They're trying now to get even. And the danger in what they're doing is because of the significance of the role of the opposition leader when it comes to the country, the government, and how things are done. Azruddin Mohammed, with the advice of his father, will do everything possible to destroy the Irfan Ali government before September next year. Everything possible. I believe that they had something to do with the bombings. I believe so. You can't sue me for my beliefs. I believe so. It's my fucking right to believe what I want to believe. I believe that they had something to do with it. Okay? If they're so capable and if they're so desperate in buying up all social media platforms, controlling all social media platforms, if they're so desperate to push negative propaganda, lies, and they're attacking only two persons, if they're so desperate to do that, what else aren't they capable of? What else aren't they capable of? They're capable of staging civil war. They're capable of staging false flags. They're capable of staging so-called natural disasters. They're capable of that because they have the means. They have the means and they have the thugs to do it. Simply because they are not concerned about the country Guyana. They are concerned about getting even with President Ali and Vice President Jagdeo. They are not even bothered with the PPP. Their agenda is these two men. Because they think that these two men should have covered for them. After all, we donated how many years to the PPP? Hundreds of millions, hundreds of this. So you should have helped us out. You should have bargained with the Americans. You should have. Because you owe us. You know when you take favors? People think that if you see them murder somebody, you need to turn your face because, hey, remember I did a favor for you. You need to look at their crimes and say, well, he was nice to me, so I can't report on him. I can't give him up. No. So I respect the president because to the president, it's not personal. It's just politics. That you can trust. That you can trust. But to the Mohammeds, it's not politics. It's fucking personal. And that's dangerous. So all the attacks you see coming out. Imagine you have a woman or Indian women. Imagine you have Indian women who are coming on social media. I mean, mental disease is a problem in Guyana. Yeah, it's a problem in Guyana. And sometimes, I mean, I heard the lady that was missing there, from Anna Katrina, they found her body. I also learned that she was a mental case, and and she had suicidal thoughts and all this kind of stuff. However, every life is important, and when you recognize that somebody is behaving strangely, then you should report them. The police should come in, take them to get evaluation, and then get them checked into psychiatric wards. Preserve their life as much as you can, because if you let them loose on the road, they can not just cause harm to themselves, but they can bring harm to others. So that woman who made that allegation about the Minister Indar being used by the Mohammeds to spread these propaganda, spread these bad news and fake news. I mean, how could you have an Indian woman or Indian women, because there are few of them, and you're attacking the president's wife? She's Indian. That's a young woman. I mean, she's not a politician. The president's wife is not a politician. She don't hold no political office. She happened to be first lady because she's married to the man. And you're going to start pointing fingers at a woman that questioning the man's children. This is how the Mohammeds are desperate. It doesn't have to be true. They just want it out there. So when the propaganda or the gossip goes out there, there are people who may have their own insecurities, their own racism about them, that even though they know that this is nonsense, they own that. They share it. They expressed upon it because it makes the idea sounds bad. All for what? To subscribe towards the agenda of somebody who has a personal vendetta against two men that these people who are trying to attack these men have nothing in common with? If the Mohammeds have something personal against Vice President Jagdeo or President Irfan Ali, and he claims to have evidence, then why pay social media pundits to spread fake news? All you got to do, you have a large platform, Azruddin. The largest platform in Guyana, quite frankly, on Facebook, bigger than the president. Why don't you share your evidence that you have against Jagdeo and Ali on your platform? You wouldn't have to beg people to run with it or pay them to run with it. They would gladly run with it. That's what happens when you have the truth. When you have the truth, people would voluntarily spread that truth. But when you have to pay people to spread propaganda, it's a lie. Then you know it's a lie. You get as much people to trend it as possible, then it gets to the attention of the people that you wanted to get to their attention. Let the Mohammeds fight their own battles. It is personal. If it's political, trust me, then it's okay. But it's not political. They want to bring down the government. The Mohammeds or Azruddin Mohammed is worse than Aubrey Norton. He is worse than the PNC because the PNC are racist and it's political. But the Mohammeds, it's not racist because Jagdeo is Indo-Guyanese and Ali is Indo-Guyanese. And they're Indo-Guyanese. So it's not racist, it's not racist. Ali is a Muslim. Mohammeds are Muslims. It's not cultural. It is personal. So they would conspire with whoever they have to, whatever foreign government they have to. They would get involved in all kinds of criminal activities that will make Guyana look bad, that will destroy Guyana's stability, They will do all that they have to do. Why? Because it's personal. They want to get rid of Ali and Jagdeo. It's personal. It's not political. They don't give a shit who runs the country. They just want to get these two men. And because they believe that the invincibility of their wealth gave them access to bribery, to whoever, they're walking around free. They're paying who they have to pay, bribing who they have to bribe, because nobody can touch them. Nobody can touch them. And this is what Guyana is taking for granted. Correction, Afro-Guyanese is taking for granted. I need to re-emphasize, I need to repeat, what Azruddin Mohammed is doing under the guise of politics is not politics, it's personal. And when it's personal, folks, we have to stand guard against that. When people hate you because it's a personal hatred, you gotta run far from those people. They will poison you and smile with you. They would even get married to you just to get close enough to kill you because of the personal hatred they have for you. You cannot allow Azruddin Mohammed as an opposition leader in Guyana. You can't allow that. The man's agenda is not about the country. It's not about those people who voted for him. The man's agenda is getting even with President Ali and Jagdeo to show them that what he's going to do to them. And he's doing it. He's investing hundreds of millions of dollars to get it done. Then he would retire. Mohammed is not interested in politics. He's interested in protection. If the Ali government had given him the protection that he thinks he deserves, and the Ali government had expressed scorn and disdain for the indictment and was not cooperative with the Americans, the Mohammeds would not be interested in politics. They would keep bribing who they have to bribe and continue with their crimes. The father made it known the only way they could escape that is if they get into politics. And since he couldn't run as opposition leader, I mean as a political, since he couldn't run because he failed, he put his son up to it. And they used their money to get where they are. You confirm that man in the parliament is a sad day. Nothing will get done. And this is what they're setting it up for. When nothing gets done in terms of the opposition leaders' consent in certain programs, and the government has to unilaterally go about doing things because the opposition leader refuses, they would use that to incite chaos in the country, to accuse the government as dictatorship. They would use that, and they would use their money to bribe black people to go out and protest and to do all these things. They will do that. The blacks are always the cattle that people like Mohammed continues to use to do their dirty work. You can't trust that man because it's personal. No matter how good, no matter how progressive, policies will be, well, he wouldn't be aware of what that is, but he has one agenda. The one agenda is finish Irfan Ali, finish Jagdeo. That's his agenda. If you don't get the man out of the country, if you don't block that swearing in, if Mansour Nadir, if you bend to pressure or whatever lawsuit, if you bend to those kinds of stuff and convene any parliament for Azruddin to get sworn in as opposition leader, then whatever happens after that would be on you. For the good of the country, Mr. Nazir, was it? Mansour Nadir, yeah. Speaker of the House. For the good of Guyana, for the good of democracy, Azruddin Mohammed is an evil, evil person. The whole country knows that. I wish the president had dealt with it personally like what he's doing. I wish if President Ali can make it personal too. But Ali is a professional. He's a statesman. He's a politician. He ain't got time for personal issues. But if Ali had time for personal issues, Azruddin Mohammed would have been extradited without a court trial. Without a court trial. If the president had personal issues with Mohammed. He would have ordered the chancellor, or hey, get this done. So we still have democracy in Guyana. We still have a president who is a professional politician. We still have that. Because if he was anything like Trump or Xi Jinping or Putin or the Indian president, prime minister, if Ali was like any of them, you think Mohammed would have the chance to play those girly games he's playing? To be bitching around and sharing all these negative and lies on social media and paying all these low lives to come and make accusations online and all this. You think he would get a chance to do that? He would have been imprisoned, not just in Guyana, but in the US. And even if the US didn't want to indict him, he would have been in prison in Guyana. Money or not, I see bigger fishes than him, bigger fishes than him. Bigger. So it's not personal with Ali. It's politics. With the Mohammeds, it's personal. That makes them dangerous. That makes them not to be trusted. And Guyanese, I beg you again, on social media, do not share the posts from the Mohammeds. Don't do it. Let the Mohammeds people, let the black people who voted for the Mohammeds, let them share the Mohammed stuff. The rest of you don't do it. You don't want to share the virus. You want to protect the government. You want to protect your country. You want to protect your safety, your democracy. Then build immunity against the Mohammed virus. Build immunity. Don't watch it. Even if you watch it, don't share it. Don't comment on it. You're not helping when you do that. I am concerned about my country, my government, and the longevity of the progress and development that Guyana is on the path to. If you want to see that being fucked up or interfered with, swear in Azruddin. as opposition leader. Make another baby. Make another baby. Swear him in. You got a chance to see what chaos is, if that's what you want. But only one kind of people will suffer, I can guarantee you. Only one kind of people will suffer. That I can guarantee you. And that will be the black people. And it wouldn't be a racial thing. It will be politics. Just politics. So again, I love human beings. To the Indian women, remember you are a woman too. Whether you're jealous of the president's wife or whatever, women are jealous of each other. So a woman don't have to be first lady to harbor jealousy against herself. No, she ain't got to be. Women are jealous of each other for a wig, for a dress, for a shoe. It's a jealousy with women. You don't bother with that shit, man. That's a woman's thing. Deal with your stuff. But treat it where it is. Don't go on social media and disrespect another woman just because she's married to Ali. Don't do it. All right? When I call women bitches and hoes, it's because they behave like that. I call that woman a coolie because she behaved like that. But there's nothing in the president's wife that justifies you making accusations on a woman or telling. Nothing. There's nothing. If she acts a certain way, then based on her actions, you criticize that. But there's nothing. You're making stuff up. And that makes you what a low life is. The low life is the lowest, right? Yeah. Respect the woman. That's it. Just because you are a woman, just respect the woman. You think something special because she's first lady? There's nothing special about that. The man had to have a wife. Could be any woman. He's president, and the whole thing is your president wife is a first lady. That's it. Mankind put the title there. God didn't put it there. Man did. God didn't even put president. Man did. So there's no divine special thing of a first lady. There's nothing special about it. Don't be jealous. Be supportive of your country, your government. I guess I'm not getting donations now. So you see, no wonder I'm not getting any. No wonder I don't get notifications from Zeller. Oh, someone has also. I don't get notifications because I always piss people off. I can't help it. If you like me because I just say what needs to be said. Put your country first. Mohammed is not president. Mohammed is not president. He never will be president. Ali is president. And until then, until 2030, Irfan Ali is the president. We respect him, we stand by him, and we support his government. It's not a PPP government, it's a Guyanese government. That's what we do. All the fake news shall be debunked. Until next time. Oh, share this live. Let me have your comments. What, people don't write anymore? What's wrong with your fingers? I like to read stuff. I mean, I'm feeling better, thank you. The sun came out. Yeah, the sun came out. So I feel better. But let me hear from you. Okay? Share your thoughts in the comment section, but subscribe to this channel. I mean, there's sometimes I see some videos that are like 30,000 views, 27,000 views, and the subscription is the same. How can you have a following? I mean, a viewership that gives you a video on one live, you get 30-something thousand views, but then the subscription is the same. If I have 30,000 views, it means that it is 30,000 different people tuned in or viewed the video. You're telling me 15,000 and you can't just click subscribe? Or 10,000 can't say, you know what? Yeah, I hate the guy, but let me just subscribe. I hate the guy, but yeah, subscribing isn't, you don't have to pay for that. You just click subscribe on the screen there. It doesn't cost you anything. You don't have the Zelle, you don't got a Western Union. You can hate me. Okay, for black people. For black people, this is the best way for you to support the program. You don't got to send money. Just subscribe. See, I go piss you off again. You think I'm saying, oh, so black people are broke? They can't afford to donate? Well, so far, they can't afford. But, I mean, you can afford to subscribe. Just click subscribe on the thing. It doesn't cost anything. Build the following. Let's get 100,000 subscribers on YouTube by Christmas. It's possible. All you got to do is just click the subscribe button. You see it there, it's spelled there. Just that's what you need to click on. It doesn't cost anything, no money, nothing. It's free. Bye now.